Hello, Steve here. Welcome to Real Health. Who'd have thought health is about what we're eating? Join me on my quest to disseminate my go-to health regimen, the Health 44, my clumsy branding of eliminating 4 classes of food, introducing 4 classes of micronutrients. Bingo, bongo, health sorted. So thank you for your interest. Let's do this.
Welcome again, and here we go again. Right. What did you click on? Gene selection fallacies. Something like that, gene selection, and how it relates to health. I'm not going to go down the path of gene selecting eye color, skin color, hair, balding. Should we gene select for balding? Balding, what's it called? Balding extremist, or no, balding, anyway, people that don't mind the balding. Anyway, so basically, when it comes to health, gene selection in health, even the whole personality, where we place personality in depression, happiness, they're all self-assessments, judgments, and what we place on people where they should be healthy if they're a middle class and this and that. That's pie in the sky stuff. But the whole gene selecting, height, a little bit, but height is also a bit of a scatter in what happens even in the natural world. Tall parents sometimes have a retracement of stats. A 6'2" mother, a 6'7" father equals 6'2" son, 6 foot or 5'11" daughter. They're still tall, but it doesn't mean that 7 foot. No, it doesn't mean it'll happen. So where I'm coming at this from is screening for obesity, cancer, balding. That is a health issue. It's not genetic. And together with the smothering, the littering of littering, that in many podcasts I mentioned that genetics has no implication on health, illness, disease, chronic illness, autoimmune disease. It does not. It's all, to the 2.2 regulars out there, it's all micronutrient deficiencies. The only thing that runs in the family is your sensitivity to gluten, your diet, if it's high in oils, sugars, nitrates, nitrites, then yes, you will get more obesity, more cancer, more autoimmune disease in those populations. We have the cases where a lot of the Middle East, even at the moment, 1 in 8 are cousin marriages. There used to be 1 in 2 back 100 plus years ago. Even that, I believe in my, this is actually humble, not humble. This is actually a more humble opinion, is that cousin marriages, yes, there has been a high incidence of birth defects and that sort of thing, but all birth defects are chronic mineral deficiencies especially, but micronutrient deficiencies in mum especially, in the development of the fetus, but also in the father, okay? But that's then genetic. Well, if you double down on your particular lifestyle, diet, environmental exposure, all that sort of thing, yes, the kids will be exposed to the same sort of risks as mum and dad. So, to put it out there, illness, disease is not genetic. That's why genetic therapy will not work. genetic research and development is barking up the wrong tree. It is trillions of dollars of misallocated investment which will yield nothing. I'm quite touchy and sensitive on that, because I see it around me. I review literature, I listen to people, and what sparked this episode is a recent episode, the latest episode, as I'm recording this, for Chris Williamson, or Chris Willex on the socials, Dr. Jonathan Anomaly. I'm not sure what his actual line of research and expertise is, but he was talking about gene selection, and which was heavily based on screening for health. It can't be screened. It can't be screened. Genetic birth defects are also chronic micronutrient deficiencies, but here's why I mentioned it again, because I have mentioned it just earlier. Birth defects can't be reversed. That's why both parents need to be fully or not suffering from any micronutrient deficiencies. The Middle East, well, like I've mentioned, has very deficient soils, and if they're locally sourcing their food and crops is deficient, it's not as deficient as the US. The US ranks 40, 45, 60 in some metrics in longevity, yet they spend more on healthcare than the rest of the world combined. 4 or 5% of the world's population is in the US, and they spend more on healthcare than the whole world combined, and they yield the return on investment is diddly squat. Where they do get to 40 is some infrastructure, which isn't the best, but they've got good infrastructure, comparatively cleaner water, and that sort of thing, and the lifestyle standard of living. Okay, the US will continue to deteriorate, but the rest of the world is catching up in their illness deterioration, and we're going to be scratching our head in 30 years, 50 years, 100 years time, thinking, what the heck are we? Our longevity is plummeting, our birth rates plummeting, our population plummets. We don't need the conspiratorial people to suggest that they're going to kill off 1.5 billion, 7 billion people, this and that. It's just going to naturally happen. With wealth comes less less children per woman, and also, where I'm going to harp on again, micronutrient deficiencies and not understanding cholesterol impacts fertility. And the people that are struggling with their fertility, this is the first world people, which then go for the gene selection at the moment. It might become more available down the track. I can't even imagine how you can pinpoint particular genes and then get this perfect person based on what mum and dad have screened for. Don't you think that the interaction of this gene and the interaction of that good gene equals something else? That could happen too. And the gestation environment, if mum is not satiated with micronutrients, there's going to be still problems in birth defects. Then we're still going to scratch our heads, because if mum isn't getting enough selenium or boron, calcium, phosphorus, and all the minerals, vitamins, essential amino acids, and essential fatty acids, which there's 90 declared essential micronutrients. Our farming soils are depleted. And the only way we can get those declared essential micronutrients, 90 of them, is to supplement. So mother and father need to supplement. I, at the age of 50, gave birth. No. I have a child at the age, I had a newborn child at the age of 50. I'm now 51. And mother was 40. And there's no problems. We would expect trisomy, Down syndrome risk, and this and that. And how about this? Oh, how about blood pressure and gestational diabetes and all that sort of thing? Nothing. Okay, nothing. But you're just lucky. No, not lucky. Satiated with the micronutrients, essential micronutrients that we require. And for the one-off listeners, I need to suggest, indicate, and what I prescribe for the world is doing the Health 44. Okay, just quickly. Health happens when you do the Health 44. The first for the 44 take away 90+% of the supermarket. Four classes of food must be eliminated. Yes, it is elimination, but you won't miss it. Glutens, oils, sugars, nitrates, eliminated, and then bring in those micronutrients, those 90 declared essential micronutrients, 60 of them are minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 essential fatty acids. In short order, your health concerns, your illness, your disease will subside, and in my case, and in most people's cases, will be eliminated if you do the Health 44, and then health will happen. Okay? So gene selection, whatever our attempts, won't light a candle, won't illuminate more than a candle versus the blaring sunlight of micronutrients. Sorry if you're sitting at those attraction levels of 5, 6, 7, and you want to select for 10s. The health part will be eliminated if you're satiated with the micronutrients. Do the first part of the 44, eliminate those foods, you'll absorb then all the micronutrients that we require. These days we need to supplement. Aid that by increasing your salt intake to increase digestion, and then you'll be absorbing, and then you'll be satiated with all the micronutrients that your body requires. All vertebrates need 90 declared essential micronutrients according to body weight. So if you're a bit heavier, like myself, I'm actually very lean, but with a BMI of around obese levels, 28, 29, I don't know, something like that. When I clocked a BMI of 23, I was skin and bone and vascularity and a six-pack and all that sort of. Well, still got a six-pack, but I can't live that lean, that skinny. That was really skinny. So BMI is a century plus old metric, and if you're lean and still above 25 BMI, don't worry. So anyway, I'll just end it there. I think I've made my point. I won't fill in empty minutes any longer. I'm working hard. I'm also working hard on, I've taken my glasses off. It's a bit disorienting. I'm birth defect. My eyesight was a birth defect, and that's why I've got the glasses off. No shining, the distraction. So I'll leave it there. Gene selection will be a nothing burger in our pursuits to select what the Nazis were doing. So, bye-bye for now. Hopefully at least 2.3 people will come back. Bye-bye.